According to CBS News, 64% of Americans are obese. And of that 64%, 15% is made up of children. That is, in perspective, 9 million children that are going to have to fight to get healthy once in their life, because as adults they're now obese because they were obese when they were children. That's 9 million potential heart attacks that could be saved and heart patients that could be prevented by just a simple increase in exercise and proper nutrition education. We all have the chance to be parents in life. Whether we choose to take it or not, that's up to us. But I am saying for myself, and I'm sure some of us want to be parents, we have to consider what we're feeding our children and really be informed on what they're intaking. As adults, we have quick hunger fixes right in front of our faces all of the time. Even Subway claims to be healthier than it really is, but how much is it actually helping us? The problem is that when we're parents, we're not just affecting ourselves, we're also affecting our children, which are the future of our world. And another fact is that our children are increasing in size annually. And this speech is here to inform you on what is this huge contributing factor and how increase in weight is affecting our children. The American Society for Clinical Nutrition and Princeton University both studied the correlations of high fructose corn syrup consumption and childhood obesity. There's many studies conducted by these two put together to prove their point that they are effective and valid arguments and correlations that the more high fructose corn syrup consumed in beverages such as Capri Suns and Hi-C juice pouches, all the way to Go-Gurt packs to Oreo cookies, it's almost like drinking pop, as in it's an empty calorie that helps or that makes you retain more calories. Okay, so Harvard's Public School of Health is even finishing up research on obese children that they've conducted through a 7-year study, remaining as obese as they were adults. So they started out obese as children, and now that they're adults, they're also obese. And this makes a lot of health problems that could be prevented just from poor nutrition and poor exercise habits. Again, that's from Harvard School of Public Health. You might think that having kids is far away, but not in retrospect. And with that time approaching, better nutrition and information provided is a better way to raise your children. So, I would like to show you this picture now that describes what normal is now that we're in 2016 and what normal used to be in 1970. So this picture is from the Huffington Post, and here we see this young boy. He is thin, okay? Now it's what we would call thin, but back then that's normal, okay? And here's 2016 boy on the end here, all the way over here, and he's got love handles, chunky cheeks, chunky fingers, chunky thighs. He's a little bit more stocky. He doesn't appear to be as tall, even though he's the same height. Okay, so with that being said, we also have the women of this. We have short girl, or same size girl. Maybe we have smaller breast size, less curves. Maybe that's where the term thick came from over here. So this is just showing that across the years from 1970 to 2012 from the Huffington Post, what this increase in size did for America and what our poor nutrition habits did to our children. So another picture here, this is from the Huffington Post as well. This just depicts children's ages 2 to 19, and it starts with ages, the brackets are broken up by 2 to 5, 6 to 11, and 12 to 19. So you can see here in 1970 that there wasn't even an increase in, there wasn't even a bracket for ages 2 to 5 because there wasn't a need for that. But then you see here in 2012 that there's a huge need for that age 2 to 5 because it goes all the way up to 9% of the childhood obesity comes from 2 to 5-year-olds. So keep that in mind. So what is happening to make these experts determine what being obese actually is, and that's body mass index. Mr. Andrew Seaman of the Huffington Post describes in detail that body mass index, or BMI, is what records the body's weight in comparison to the age and height. So then from there are percentiles that put people in different groups, and that is how we determine who is obese and who is not. Okay, so Princeton, Harvard, these are all credible universities and professionals that are putting it in our face that our children are not shrinking. And we don't want them to shrink. We want them to be healthy. So take this as a piece of information that can just grow and grow and grow, and you can use with your children when the time comes, even if it's 12 years away. And hopefully it is evident that there needs to be a change in nutritional education that we are giving our children so that high fructose corn syrup does not ruin the future of our youth. Because we fought so hard in the medical world to fight to increase the age that people die. And now it's just going back down because of one thing, obesity. And I mean, think about how hard it is to lose weight. How many of us have tried to lose a couple pounds before? It might take 3 weeks to lose 7 pounds. It's hard. It's not an easy task. So by adapting to America's fast cuisines to feed our children, we're saying addiction is okay, because overeating is what addiction is. And only you and I can decide what our children's future holds. And I decide to keep my children healthy. And I hope that you can stand with me.